their seal design so closely. F tier, C tier. Ugh, I'm getting blue blinded. Can someone help me out here? New Mexico. What vexillological virtuosity is this? A design in the center so simple and sacred of the Zia people, done with bold colors that match the New Mexican landscape itself. It's enchanting. Need I even say the words, New Mexico? S tier. Thank you for giving me hope. Okay, back to the bluebells. New Hampshire, seal on blue. S tier. Thank you for giving me. Did I even say the words, New Mexico? S tier. Thank you for giving me hope. Even say the words, New Mexico? S tier. Thank you for giving me hope. Okay, back to the bluebells. New Hampshire, seal on blue, but you did kind of go all in on the seal, and the ship is pretty good. I didn't think I needed a rule to say that a flag is not a painting of other flags, but here you are with 3. FB. Connecticut. Fan of the grapes, huh, kid? Nah, I'm good, thanks. Purple is objectively the worst color, but you know what? You could do something with that, and it would stand out. In the meantime, FD. Enjoy your grapes. Michigan. Circumspice? I will, and all I see is more boring blue. FD. Can anyone do blue but good? Ah, Alaska. Look at this, ladies. The northernest state showing off the northernest star in an open blue sky. And she didn't feel the need to write Alaska across it, which must have been pretty tempting. California? And even better, the companion constellation of the Big Dipper is but the tail of Ursa Major, a great bear in the sky, the animal most associated with this state and important to the Alaska natives. How clever, Alaska! I simply must give you the Best Bear Award. This flag is pretty top tier, but the low contrast design with the sparse stars does make it difficult to differentiate at a distance, especially in, say, dark winters. And it breaks my brain that your official vertical orientation is for the North Star to be at the bottom. North Star, top star. Look, this is an amazing patch, which I think comes pre-installed on every backpack in Alaska, so your citizens obviously love it. It's a good flag, it's the best bear, best in B tier. Oh, sorry, Miss Missouri. I didn't see you've also got a bear. 2 bears? No, wait. There's a bear on the seal the bears are holding? You definitely win most bears, darling. And most stars with, wow, 61. 13 for the original 13 states on the American seal, which you put inside your seal for sealception. Then 24 stars for your entry as the 24th state twice. It's very busy. And you put all those bears and stars and words atop a tricolor, the most basic of all flag designs, but blessed be you didn't write your name, so I'm passing you. D tier. Anyone else who didn't write their name? Ah, Rhode Island. You wrote Hope, but I'll take it at this point. This is also quite the square, but I guess you're going all in on the sailing motif with the anchors and the colors, and it works. C tier. On to the Commonwealth Club. No more hiding in the back. It's your turn. Commonwealth of Massachusetts. At least it's not blue, and it's sort of simple. In comparison, of course, FC. Kentucky. I know you like being in the Commonwealth Club, but you can't write it on your flag. Well, you can, but you're getting F tier, D tier for that. Pennsylvania. If you're going to do seal on blue, this is pretty good. And you didn't write Commonwealth of Pennsylvania anywhere. F tier, B tier. And come on up, Captain of the Club, Commonwealth of Virginia. Let's see what you've done. Oh God, are you trying to get me demonetized? Your flag has nudity, murder, and an explicit call to violence. But you know what, Virginia? That's kind of badass. FB. Oh, hi, Ohio. Another oddly shaped flag. You know this is more of a cape than a flag, right? Right, you do. Well, it's very much America. I'm gonna give it a B. Next up, Delaware. Delaware. Fully writing out the date on the bottom is just such a bottom tier move. I know you're the forgotten state and you want to emphasize that you're really the first, but there's gotta be a better way. FF. Wyoming. Let me tell you something, Wyoming. Let me tell you what I foresee as the final chapter of my life. When age or end times come, when my work is finished and forgotten, I will travel to your great state to find a plot of land, one with a cozy cabin, a porch out front, where pet buffalo by my side, shotgun across my lap. I will watch the sun set for however many days are left. For me, for us all. And in the sky above this scene, I will fly this flag of Forever West with pride. But I will have to get it custom printed to remove this terrible, needless seal you've stamped in the center. A seal upon which you have written your name. It's so close to epic, but for now I must, by my own unbreakable rule, give it an F. But S tier F, obviously. Now, who's going to be next? All the I's. Europe, starting with Idaho. You wrote your name twice. I can't even right now. FF. Iowa. You've got your name too, and a whole sentence of instruction. Have you won the most words award? Oh no, not even close. Idaho beat you for 12 to tie with Nebraska to be beaten by Wyoming for 13, and first place goes to South Dakota, 17 words. But that doesn't make this any less bad, Iowa. And you also wrote your name. F tier, obviously, but at least it's much America, so F tier, A tier. Indiana. Oh, what a relief, Indiana. Pretty good. Colors are similar to Alaska, but with more stars, it's more identifiable at a distance. And you've done your own thing with the Torch of Liberty. It's pretty good. I'm gonna give it an what are you doing? F tier, A tier. Sit down. Last of the I's, Illinois. You've also gone with an eagle, but it is not very good. I'm sorry. And your backwards sovereignty on the scroll points for realism, I guess. But a flag is not a painting. And you added the date of this design? Why? Oh, this is literally just the seal of Illinois on a white background written above the word Illinois. It's terrible. F tier, F tier. Colorado. I feel like you're really trying to push my boundaries here, Colorado. The design is simple while still standing out, and I'd give it a B, but this giant C, it's a little on the nose, don't you think, Colorado? And you know what else it is? It's writing. Writing on a flag. C for C tier. And don't point to Ohio, she did it better. Most people didn't even notice the O. Next, Minnesota. Terrible. Oof, this is just terrible. Your name isn't as big and bad as the other bluebells, but the busyness is bottom tier bad. Wisconsin, I was too harsh on you before. This is the worst flag in the union. Come on, Minnesota, you're America's blonde scion of Scandinavia. A classic flag designs itself. But this, I need a visual palette cleanser now. Ah, Alabama. Can't go wrong with a simple shape, identifiable at a distance, vertical perfection, and a lesson to everyone. So much more can be done with so much less. This flag would fit in on the international stage. A for Alabama. State of West Virginia, home of hardy Appalachia. You deserve better than this. FD. Arkansas. You know what, Arkansas? Even with writing your name real big across the center, I think you've made it kind of work. I can't pass you, obviously, but it's very America, and diamonds are your thing. I'm gonna give it F tier, A tier. And speaking of words that work, get up here, Nevada. Now, obviously, this flag is bad and boring, which is a crime because you get the award for the 2 best words ever written on a flag. Battle born. Battle born. It's awesome. And unlike some other states trying to big up their history that we won't mention, you really did become a state for the Union in the middle of America's bloodiest war. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but if 2 words ever deserve to be put in impact font on a flag, battle born are those words. Do it, Nevada. Do it, do it, do it. Maryland, oh my, it's hideous. So hideous, it falls right off the bottom to land back on the top. S tier, Maryland, I don't care what anyone says, wear it with pride. Louisiana, that pelican is vulning herself, which is a heraldic term meaning to injure herself, making you the only flag to show actual blood. I must remind you that a flag is not heraldry, but at least it's unique. FB. Tennessee. I think people underrate your flag, Tennessee, partly because of this blue bar on the side, which seems a bit random when looked at on a screen, but was added to keep it distinct when flying with or without wind, which totally works. And your 3 stars are for the 3 grand divisions of your rather rectangular state unified. This flag, on screen it's a B, but in the air it's an A. Washington. Washington. A flag is not money, Washington, and this is real extra awkward because DC, who isn't even in this class, absolutely wrecked you with this A-tier flag that represents Washington so much better by adapting his family coat of arms, not drawing his facey face. But at least it's money green, so it stands out from the blues. FC. Hawaii. I have complicated feelings about this flag, Hawaii. It's ugly, but in a bit of the magnificent Maryland way. The 8 stripes for the 8 islands don't align at all with the Union Jack, which is also historically confused, as you were never part of the British Empire. You instead just took their flag to use for your kingdom as your own, which is a pretty bold move. Well, you didn't write Kingdom of Hawaii across it, and you love your rainbows. And if an American flag was a rainbow, this would be that flag. I'm gonna give it a B. Oklahoma. You're another real heartbreaker here, kid. We're just going to ignore this for now and look at this, which is not a seal but a buffalo skin shield of the Osage Nation. Much cooler, and with a pipe of the Plains American Indians crossed with the olive branch for Europeans who were becoming Americans. You've done by far the best job of symbolically trying to address something very American that other flags struggled with. Minnesota. I'm giving it an FC because there's something here that could be even epicer. Carolina Sisters, South First. It's a bit disjointed, and I know you love the palmetto, but everyone thinks this is a palm tree. And it's weird because you have the angel oak, one of the most famous and beautiful trees in the world, which could make a much better design, and then there would be zero chance of people confusing you for California. But unlike California, you didn't write your name, so you pass. But this complicated plant in the center, it's just not as good as Miss Mississippi's. D tier. North next. Now, I'm totally biased toward my adoptive state, and when I see this flag flying around Raleigh, it provokes in me pride of Old North, even if it does look a bit too much like someone else's flag. But if I'm trying to be consistent, I can't give a flag with not just letters, but entire words more than C tier. I don't think either of you need a redesign desperately. So many others are ahead of you on that line, but perhaps you sisters could, like the Dakotas, consider a Carolinian combo for the future. Could be cool. Next, New Jersey. That color is a real choice, but you know what? At least it stands out and your seal isn't awful. F tier, B tier. Arizona. A tier, awesome Arizona. You've got a red and yellow sunset that looks like your state and is also a nod to the Spanish settlers. I know some don't like the Copper Star, but they are wrong because you're the Copper Queen. And it also makes me think of sheriffs of the Wild West. Did I already say A tier Arizona? A tier Arizona. Now for New York. New York. New York. I'm a native son of your great state, so it hurts me when I say, of all the flags, yours is my biggest disappointment. Sure, your seal is better than most, F tier, C tier, whatever, but you are the Empire State, daughter of actual empire. If you aspire to that awesome moniker, how do you think your flag compares to, say, this? Let's just visit London real quick, and here you'll see Union Jacks for sale everywhere. Union Jacks used everywhere because UK did S-tier work. Back in London's sister city of New York, can you even find a state flag? And are you really going to let New Jersey have a more identifiable flag than you? New Jersey? Excelsior to S-tier, New York. Now get out of here. Georgia. I feel like it almost kind of works with the seal in the corner, but ultimately doesn't. And it's a little bit too much like North Carolina. You didn't write your name, but you did write a lot of words. D tier. All right, enough foreshadowing. Get up here, Texas. You already know this is an A-tier flag. I don't need to tell you that. But you've also done just so much work with state pride. You and your citizens love and use this flag like you're still the Republic of Texas. And you're getting the bonus points you deserve for it. Florida. Did you just copy Alabama's flag but make it worse? And you wrote your name on it? F tier, but A tier only because you're copying a good design. Please try again on your own this time. And last up, it's you, Utah. Oh, I see you have a last-minute redesign in hand. Which is it gonna be? You have chosen wisely. This is a great and meaningful flag. Symbol for the industry of your people, atop their state star in the nation, built on your red rocks before the white peaks and under the blue sky. It's A tier. But class, the most important part of any assignment is not just knowing the rules written out, but what is inside the heart of he who is giving the grade. This flag, with bees and bestigons, for me, it can't be but S tier. Class dismissed. You know, hexagons are the bestigons. Why? Because bees. Bees are the best and build only the bestagon, the hexagon. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bees build hexagons because they're hexapods with hexagon eyes. How could they do otherwise? Excellent point. But the Humble Bumble has an engineering problem to solve. She makes two things, honey and wax, the former to eat and the latter to contain the former. To make but a little honey, she must visit a lot of flowers, and to make 1 unit of wax, she needs 8 units of honey. Wax is costly for bees in flower terms, and honey is drippy in food terms. So to make a hive that contains the maximum honey while using the minimum wax is royally vital. Thus, a honeycomb conjecture. Which shape works best? To answer, we need to talk tiles. Tiling is covering a surface with a pattern of polygons. There's lots of options because there's lots of polygons. Even the regulars go on and on-agon. Now for bees picking patterns, the more complicated ones obviously use more lines than necessary. That's what complicates. Sure is old looking, but man, those trees are killing me. And that incomplete border. Merry Christmas, Internet! I've unwrapped one of the Bonnie Bee bonus videos for the holidays. It's the Canadian flag tier list, and even if you've seen it before, I've decorated it with, decorations. Hope you like it, and I'll be back after it's over. Oh, Canada. Are your provinces and territories looking for flag grades as well? Well, geez, you juniors are gonna have to give her living under this brilliant banner. S-tier work, Canada. You created the maple leaf as the most quintessential Canadian symbol by standing it out on bright red cut by white. Your design so iconic it defined new vexillological vernacular, the Canadian Pale, a center stripe that, unlike other tricolors, covers half the width, giving greater space for grand graphics when you're doing it right, or a big banner of words if you're Iowa. You've set the national template to duplicate, as was done by the Musqueam First Nation, with their Canadian Pale using their own colors and their own symbol to make a superb pair of related yet distinct national subnational flags. Love it, love it, love it. So line up and let's take a look at what you've done to compare, starting with the twins, Ontario and Manitoba. Right. So I understand you're going for the historical Canadian look to match the nation's old red ensign, and you really wanted that look as you only made these flags official after the old ensign got swapped for the leaf. A strong statement for history for sure, but I'm sorry, they just look terrible. I mean, you've got 2 flags on your flags, never a good start. Yes, one is for your constitutional monarchy and the other for your royal coat of arms, but the royal pixie dust sprinkled upon them doesn't make them look any better as flags. I get what you're going for, and had all your siblings done the jack in arms, kind of like Australia, mostly, it could have been better, but with only 2 of you and right next door, it's the worst of everything. F tier, I'm sorry, have a freezy. Next, Nova Scotia. Well, as a St. Andrew's cross reversed, capped with the crest of the King of Scots, it sure is super Scotland. And given your name, Nova Scotia, that's clearly what you wanted. Related yet distinct to a different country, but still looks pretty good. B tier. Step up, Saskatchewan. Right, another royal coat of arms, or part of one anyway. Your full version goes all out with a king beaver atop, who sadly didn't make it onto this bicolor with green for the forests of the north and yellow for the grain of the south, from which grows the prairie lily. I wish it was a bit simpler, but the colors stand out. C tier. Next, Nunavut. Bam! Right in your face with an Inukshuk, but that's how you want your traditional landmarkers to be, big and obvious to help you navigate the north, along with that North Star. I don't know, it's different, but I like it. And I can't believe you resisted using your coat of arms. It's got a narwhal on it. Points for restraint, I guess, but someone surely should take design advantage of one of these crazy creatures. Anyway, your flag uniquely conveys a feeling of the far north. Best in B tier. Europe, Yukon, did you use a narwhal? No? Well, okay. It's a good-looking coat of arms for sure, with bonus points for that good boy atop, but this Canadian Pale fail hurts my OCD heart. Why? You lost your best boy bonus points for that. C tier. Next, Prince Edward Island. Oof, it sure is old looking, but man, those trees are killing me, and that incomplete border drives me crazy with a need to complete it. I don't think this is very good, but it's still better than the twins with a point for distinctiveness. D tier. Northwest Territories, another coat of arms I see, this time with an ickle fox face, but a missed opportunity to use the full version, which would have won most narwhals, an award sadly no one will win today? What a disappointment. Anyway, your coat of arms is fine, if a bit boring, but I have to give you a bonus point for being the first flag to follow the Canadian Pale pattern. And actually, you're the only one? Wow, have an award, enjoy it. C tier, NWT. And now for Alberta, with just a coat of arms on a background of blue. I'm sorry to say, your flag is the state seal of Canadian flags. Kind of a coincidence given Calgary is also the Colorado of Canadian flags. Love the moxie to put a cowboy hat on there, but I'm not grading city flags here. Alberta, your flag is just too dull for the province that promises Northern Forever West. It would be better with a hat. D tier. Next, New Brunswick. Am I losing my flagging mind? I love this. The quaintness calls to me with this age of exploration design, the barry wavy ocean, the little sailing ship. I'm completely charmed against my better judgment. A tier. Next, are you done with the design? Oh, okay, I guess I just kind of want to do a bit more, like dark mode rotate it into a banner for a space empire. But for now, it's futuristic while nodding to the past, distincter than the coat of arms, but not as iconic as Nunavut, but close. I'm giving it a C++. Oh, and yes, I know all about your tricolor too, though trying to track down where it really came from was a mess that went nowhere. I know it's not official, but it's also impossible to skip. It's a solid standard tricolor. I wish it was a Canadian Pale, but using the rarely seen pink, I'll give it a B-. Now behold, British Columbia, and boy is this flag a gong show, but it manages to cross that Maryland point where ugly becomes awesome. A tier. And last but never least, the Belle Province herself, Quebec. S tier, Rihanna Radir. And that was the video. I do hope you liked it. I know people take flags very seriously. I normally don't re-watch my videos once they're done, so it was an even stranger experience to have re-edited this one during redecorations. On second viewing, I'd probably adjust a couple of those grades up or down now with having had more time to reflect, but I'll leave it to the serious to argue about which those should be. Though, I must say, sorry PEI, I was too hard on you. Have some raspberry cordial on me before you go catch a Kaylee. And if you just can't get enough flag tier lists, I do have another Bonnie B bonus video on the American territories, which you can get by clicking here. Oh, right. YouTube only lets me put up links in the last 20 seconds of a video. Very annoying. So we'll have to wait until the very end for the link. But as always, there's no pressure to become a Bonnie B. The bonuses are just my way to say thank you to all of you who do and thus support me and my team in making the main videos for everyone to watch. And in that spirit, I stumbled upon another story for Grey Reads, a series I really didn't think I would continue until I found The Fir Tree by Hans Christian Andersen, a kind of holiday three-fer set at Christmas with themes of Thanksgiving and unintentional tree body horror for a hint of Halloween. So I recorded that too for the surprising number of Bonnies who apparently like to fall asleep to my stories. Those are there alongside all the regular stuff, like about a dozen hours of behind-the-scenes director's commentaries, including the Rock, Paper, Scissors project, which I know I keep mentioning, but boy, did that really rock my year by becoming the biggest project yet. Surely, something like that will never happen again. And one last thing, you can now give Bonnie B status as a gift, as long as you've got the email for your giftee. So if you are struggling for a very last minute, no wrapping required gift to give to the explainer fan in your life, it's an option. The link for how to do that will have to be in the description because YouTube won't let me put 2 links on screen at once. But you know what? In the spirit of this ungrateful tree who probably got what he deserved, thank you, YouTube. I know I complain, but there's no one better for video makers than you. But don't tell you I said so. Oh, now it's time for the link? Well, there you go, everyone. Click if you're interested, and if not, no worries. I truly wish all of my viewers to have the happiest of holidays and the best of luck in the new years that we have remaining. Make good use of them. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night. While waiting on a plane during taxi till takeoff, looking out the window, you may have noticed the giant number numbering the runway, say 8, which implies 7 others exist, at least, but this is a flight out of LOL Airport in Nevada's Desert of Nothing. There's only 2 runways, which, given the passenger load, seems like maybe 1 too many already. What's the deal with runway numbers, you might wonder aloud? Oh, hello again. Flying to Nook as well, are you? It is a long flight, so there's tons of time for me to tell you all about runways. Let's begin. So, before you can number a runway at an airport, you need to build the airport. And before you can build the airport, you need to plan the port. And what needs figuring first is which way to run the way. Pilots want runways with winds in parallel for physics reasons that we are going to skip, both because lift physics is something people really like to argue about, and this isn't a physics video. Yeah, I'm recording a runway video right now, hope you don't mind. But the summary is planes take off and land into the wind because it lets them use less runway and makes for safer and stabler landings in particular. Now, planes can land with winds unaligned, but it's unsettling to watch these crosswind attempts as pilots do their best to face into the wind while landing on a runway that does not. Oof. So airports too want winds running with the runway, but the universe is indifferent to human desires. Wind winds as it wants, so the simple solution in aviation early days was to build a triangle of runways, put up a little windsock, and direct the pilot to the runway that paralleled the sock and thus the wind. But as aviation grew, so did airplanes, and thus their runways, making the triangle trick impractical for big urban internationals. But the simple sock still solved it. See, if you record when and which way the windsock blows and with what wind force, you've grown yourself a windrose, a clever little data viz tool with the sock in the center of compass points for orientation and bars colored in size for strength and frequency of wind. Though it reads opposite actually of everyone's expectations, with the lines showing the way the wind blows from and not to. Physics stuff just loves to opposite actually. Let's just agree to avoid physics for this video, shall we? Windroses reverse readings aside, they reveal that in most places, most of the time, most of the wind mostly blows back and forth in one direction. So that's surprisingly convenient. Thanks, Indifferent Universe. Oh, you did it for other reasons? Well, still, this convenient wind happens because wind is a current of air, transporting heat from where there's more to where there's less. The Earth is blasted by the nuclear heat of the sun, with the equator getting hit hot hardest, making hot air rise there as it cools out along the edge of space before coming back down, creating a big-scale convection current that repeats in a pattern all up and down. And because the Earth is a sphere that spins, those cylindric convection currents of air on the surface twist clockwise north of the equator and counter below. This is the Coriolis effect, creating coiled currents of air everywhere, which is cool, but also physics trying to sneak back into the video, and this isn't a physics video. All that matters is this creates the pretty stable pattern of trade winds, and if you're planning a port, you need only know which way does the wind mostly blow. Though at some locations, the windrose reveals 2 frequent directions of wind, so if you want to constantly and safely keep open the airport, you're going to need to run a second way. This is why many airports have an X or V layout like LOL. They're not necessarily doing double the traffic of a one-runway port, but rather have double the chance of crosswinds when the tower will need to reroute pilots toward the other alignment for safer landings. And once you have 2 of something, you need names or numbers. Sure, you could just go with run 1 and run 2, but pro tip, try never to use the very first thing that comes to mind without giving it a bit of a ponder first, and the windrose reveals a better way with the compass points, which form a circle of 360 360 degrees, starting at 0 north, east 90, south 180, west 270, and back to north makes it 360 as well. These compass degrees come from ships of the seas, because captains and quartermasters, when in the vast, featureless nothing, could still count on their compass to point toward the North Pole, assuming no iron hooks happen nearby, and with north as a fixed navigational point, could then communicate their heading with names broadly, east-southeast, or numbers precisely, helm to 108. Quite handy. So it's no surprise these compass headings got passed from sea ships to airships. Thus, on the Windrose devised plans for any airport, the runway is already aligned with navigational numbers begging to be used. But before grabbing the obvious one, again, ponder for a moment. The runway points from the perspective of the port toward the plane. The rather more important heading to use is from the plane's perspective approaching the port, which on the plan is at the opposite end actually, because it's what number matches the compass in the cockpit that's critical. Alright, this needs a couple of example airports. Take one with a north-south runway. When the wind blows from the north to the south, the tower directs pilots to approach from the south, meaning they need to point the plane north, which on their compass is a heading of 360 degrees. So let's put a big 360 on that end for now. When the winds reverse, the tower directs pilots to approach from the north, to fly south, which reads 180, so let's put a big 180 on that end as well. Now that we've got our heading numbers, the convention is to round them to 10 and cut off the 0 for the runway number, because we don't need 3 sig figs of precision when airports have single-digit numbers of runways, and the very stressed air traffic controllers in the tower need to repeat precisely these numbers hundreds of times a day, so saving syllables here really matters. Thus, when the tower tells the plane to use runway 36, the pilot knows they need to get south of the airport to land facing north, and while there are like a million indicators in a cockpit, the pilot can always confirm they're doing it right by reading 360 on their ancient ancestor's compass. This low-tech check is useful as a fallback because a compass can see the way even when eyes and other equipment cannot. As a 2-runway example, an airport with a perfect ordinal X would get numbered thusly. Northwest to southeast gives 315 for one end, because that's the way the pilot needs to point, and 135 at the other. Round to 10 for 320 and 140, then drop the zeros to get runways 32 and 14. On the other side, 225 and 45, round to 10 again, drop the zeros for 23 and 5. Now, when the towers talk to the pilots, they say each digit individually, so runway 23, because clarity here is critical, which is also why the font and exact size of these digits is standardized worldwide. Though there are disagreements between the abundant aviation agencies as to if single-digit runways like 6 should have a leading 0 for clarity, or if that leading 0 should only be in our hearts, which it shouldn't be. Anyway, that's the surprisingly good system behind numbering these numbers, which is always a delight to discover, unlike some other numbers I could mention, though there are a couple of wrinkles. For think about it, if the wind mostly blows back and forth in most places, then most big, busy urban international airports will need multiple runways in parallel, but parallel runways have the same heading, thus the same number under this system, which would be unclear for pilots to say the least. So all the agencies assembled to agree. If you have 2 parallel runways, they will have the same number, but add an L or an R for left and right. If you need to construct a 3rd runway, add a C for center too. But with 4 or more, 2 runways will get the correct heading number with L and R, but the others, they're going to get the next closest numbers, but not exactly correct numbers, which is practical, I suppose, but also, it's all slightly misaligned. It's big airports, like it doesn't line up. Like, just try not to think about it, okay? Just try not to think about it. Oh, we're landing at Nook already? Wow, flights fly fast when you're flapping about flying. Time to put this knowledge to use. Our compass heading reads 42 degrees, so round to 10 for 40, cut the 0 and we'll be landing on runway 04. And since there's only one runway at Nook, it'll be perfectly aligned. No doubt about that. Oh, it's 5, not 4. How embarrassing. I guess I need to delete this video now. Hey, why are you painting a new runway number? You do that every few decades? That must mean, oh, runway numbers depend on where the North Pole is. And so, watch out. There's a geography video inside this video called Where is the North Pole Really? Okay, to find the North Pole, remember that the Earth is a sphere that spins. Oh, sorry, we already went over that. We draw a line about which this spin occurs and name each end the North and South Pole. Starting with these poles, we clever humans created a square-ish coordinate system for our spherical Earth, the detailed creation of which I'm going to skip because that's a physics story for a never time that took hundreds of years and needed lots of clocks, and to make it official that London rules and Paris drools. But anyway, this grid is what every modern navigational system uses to get around with the GPS, global positioning, coordinates it gives. But if you were to use your GPS to direct you to the North Pole so that you could experience the planet rotating you in place as the stars circled overhead and you pondered the scale of the indifferent universe and your tiny existence within it, if you took out your compass to double check that the GPS got the spot right, the compass points you over the horizon toward another North Pole. What gives compass? Well, what did you expect? A compass is a magnet, and magnets follow magnetic fields. That's like their only thing? It's not a math magnet. Your magnet compass will take you to the gigantic magnetic field spewing forth from inside the Earth. So there are two North Poles, one for math and one for magnets. I mean, I guess if you want to be technical about it, there are three North Poles because the magnetic field the North Pole of a magnet points to is the South Pole of the Earth's magnetic field because opposites attract. But look, we're just going to ignore that because this isn't a physics video and there's been enough "oh, it's the opposite" actually already. And yes, I know you can define more norths, but we're moving on. There are two norths, math and magnets. The compass points to the magnetic north and the GPS points to the geographic north. They don't have anything to do with each other, but for navigation, humans have used both. One isn't better than the other, though math/geographic north is now often called true north, which feels a bit like humans picking the new one as their favorite one. Oh, and ships of the seas have stopped using the old magnetic north and now navigate with GPS using the true north, even modern pirates, but planes and pilots still love the traditional magnet
ojos. No puedo. Los martes y los miércoles voy a irte tú a la clase. ¡Javier! ¡Papá! ¡No me besas! ¡Me soy bien enferma! Te voy a dar una trampa de pipi para los cerdos.
7Vig1.
7Vig2.
Hello. No tengas miedo.
7Vig1.
7Vig2.
7Vig3.
7Vig4.
7Vig5. 7Vig6. 7Vig7. 7Vig9. 7Vig8.
Hasta las 17:29.
7Vig10.
Ok, Javier. Vamos a la
7Vig7.
programación.
7Vig
Que se
these.
están abiertos.
7Vig-zip.
7Vig-trek.
Es que tengo
7Vig-10.
una palabrota, ellos
Seven
porque me estaban
Vigesimal.
insultando. Y ahora en
7Vig9.
inglés.
7Vig8.
8Vig.
Has escrito una palabrota a ellos, ¿no? En inglés. Es que les hagas insultando a ellos. ¡Hala! Estamos en inglés. No quiero. Estamos en España. Porque te he dicho que siga las normas de la clase ahora mismo. Y tienes que hacer caso a los amigos. Ahora tienes una tabla de castigo para el balón. Como tú eres bebé, pues te voy a poner una pañal en pipa para mañana, el progreso de tu vida, al cole. Mañana te vas a llevar a los pañales y abuelas al cole y un pañal también para bebés. Y sí que te vaya a hacer rialto de taras para tú. Y ya has hecho unos proyectos de culo. Y es que te voy a estar haciendo por tu culpa, Aarón. Tienes que hacer es que no quiero ser para eso. Y mira, voy a comprarte tus unos pañales. ¿Qué pañales? ¡Pañales! Ajá, tienes un pañal puesto. Pero papá, ¿cómo has puesto el pañal aquí? ¿Cómo ha puesto a mí el pañal aquí? Porque eres bebé grande y gordo. Y usarás esos pañales por el resto de tu vida. Y si te atrapo y te los quito, estás castigado. Estás tan castigado. Tú estás hablando de castigo, estás castigado por el resto de tu vida. Hala, vete a la programación. Una hora después. ¡Hola! ¿He puesto el pañal? Me ha ponido el pañal, no soy un bebé. Y Cara se ha ido. Ratón, te voy a dar una torta hasta que te sigas loco. Aarón, si te callas o te meto de la clase de programación y te vas a ir con los bebés de los bebés. Tú pero tú y ahora tienes que hacer los bebés deberes de toda la semana. ¡Y punto! No, Javier, tengo que buscar porque mi ratón ya no va. Tengo que comprar uno nuevo. Mira, ahí mi ratón. Aquí está, Aaron. Gracias, María. Pero Javier, no quiero desde que vivo ahí, ni me Sí, Javier, porque te estamos insultando a tú. Estoy muy babosa. No. Ryder, estás que me oído. Te he dicho que no discutáis. Estás en mi... ¿cómo te...? Ahora te calles la boca, tichón, Javier. Hasta las 18:58. Voy a morir la astronauta. Ve. Pues nada, amigos, estabas castigados. Y Aaron, no estabas castigado hasta que Javier te disculpe. Ahora no quiero ser para esto. Ahora vayas a la escuela de verano en 2 meses. Y ahora vayas a la escuela de verano en 2 meses. Es que te voy a dar una tarjeta de estar aquí, como un expirón. Es que estabas castigado para la semana que viene. Ni nada más sabes que sale a la escuela de verano. Pues vete a la cama, castigado de... Y Javier, estabas castigado. Y ahora te digo cosas. Y ahora de nuevo salir a no te más que me salir a la cama. Pero cuando tú quieras, el ordenador se acabará, Javier. No vas a ver ni programación ni nada. Te vas a ver con los pañales de bebé. Y te da vuelo. encima. Porque te voy a irte a sacar tú de los pañales por el resto de tu vida. Y ahora tenemos tú a los pañales y tú sin pañal. Y ahora no quiero hacer. Ahora no estás sin pañal. Y tú vas a ir con pañales al café. Y que los pañales. Entonces estás. Y tú, joder, estás con el pañal por el resto de tu vida. En unos 100 días. Y te vayas a la escuela de verano en 2 meses con el pañal. Y todos los meses. el pañal cuando estabas haciendo caca. Pues nada, estabas castigados. Vete a los coches, que vamos a ir a casa. Papá, no le he hecho nada. Ni no preguntes esto, profesor. Javier, papá de Javier. Es que los amigos le estaban insultando a Aaron. Y Javier también. A los amigos están castigados y Aaron no está castigado. Muy bien, pero... ¿Javier? Javier, ¿estamos insultando a los amigos? Eso es. Javier, otro día hace otro día que has hecho en el proyecto de culo. Y dos, mañana te voy a poner un sacrificio contigo. Y la última, te estabas insultándolos a los amigos, pero otro día. Y vi que mientras insultabas, eso es todo. Estás castigado hasta que veas tu canal de YouTube. Y vas a dormir afuera, en el garaje. Así que vamos al coche. Eres un bebé. Y ahora ya no puede ser. Ya estás aquí. Bien.
Tecnología también son en los altavoces.
Ahora Aaron ya estaba contento de ser Estados Unidos. Ya no me gusta Estados Unidos. ¿Quieres matar a Estados Unidos? Sí, pues a matar a Estados Unidos hasta que quieras. ¡No! Porque su papá comprende de papá presidente de Estados Unidos esto. Ni vas a destruir los Estados Unidos ni los pueblos de Estados Unidos. Pues nada, Javier, esto para siempre. ¡Gol! Ya, Q, eres un caracol. ¡Oh no! Yo soy un caracol. Yo soy falso. Quiero ser real. Alfabet Lore. Gracias, papá. ¡Ah, Javier! ¡Deme tú! ¡Tú el Pepe! Ahora yo estoy en casa. Ahora, papá, ahora sí. ¡Papá! ¡He olvidado la agenda! ¿Qué? ¡Ya has olvidado la agenda! ¡Oh no! ¡Madre, no las babas! Vale. Pues nada, Aaron. Si no, nos enchufar. Voy a comprar mañana una regla.
Mira,
Tú eres el Pepe, ¿no? Dame tú, Pepe.
Hasta las 19:51.
¡Jolines! Estos tontos de castigados ya no quiero que me castiguen. ¡Silencio, Javier! ¡Silencio! Y tú eres un pesado y quiero que te calles la boca. Y no quiero insultarnos a los demás. Estos niños son muy lindos y guapos. Y no tiran pelos. Ahora jugando con el lateral. Y de un alba. Digo, un albal. ¡Sí! ¡Me gusta un alba! ¡Ah, es un cuento de Nalva donde las aventuras! No. No y no. Le odio a Nalva porque estaba haciendo dibujos tontos que se llaman haciendo la música tonta. Esto es lo demás que me hago y yo, tío, acá la respira como él. Previo de episodio. Y ya, Javier, no vas a odiar a Nalva y Medu, ni los animales del mar. Es que para hacer, tú eres el pesado y... Javier. Ahora voy a irme de este espacio. Ya que ha tenido. ¡Acabó la batería! ¡Oh no! ¡Me he olvidado el cargador! ¡Oh no! He podido cargar, pero ya me el cargador. Y ya he olvidado de cargar el espacio de la batería. ¿Cómo se diría así? ¿Qué dice?
hello.
Ahora estas navidades se acabaron. Ahora la escuela mañana. Pero las vacaciones se acabaron. Ahora la escuela. Ahora la escuela. La escuela de Navidad se ha terminado. Ahora la escuela. Como digo que tú vas a ir a la escuela de verano en junio. Pon un pañuelo limpio. Vale.
I am a professional rectangle scientist.
Una cama, habitación nueva y de Cailán también. No, esta noche Cailán estaba contigo de dormir. Es muy aburrido esto que Cailán me dice a dormir. Tien es la gata. Es la gata, esto voy a hacer. Tú vas a hacer, ¿dónde vas a ir? ¿Dónde vas a ir? Bota, bien. Go.
Sed.
Oye, Feta, eres un falso. 5. ¡Ay! ¡Y! Por favor. Pero si no he hecho nada. Sí, porque no has hecho nada. Has escrito una palabra en inglés y has escrito una palabra en inglés y la descifraba. Es que, Javier, tienes que comportar como un niño normal. ¡Au! ¡Au! Oh, soy una alienígena de la oreja. Tómate la torta para que si vas a poner cada usuarias. Tío, es que para hacer una... No, para que te conviertas una alienígena por todos los ojos y 3 orejas. Es que te pido eso por mi permiso que te conviertes. ¿Es que puedes irme a cole? Sí, porque te estás en casa. Vete a cole y punto. Vamos a coche. Hasta las 10:07. Jolines, qué pesado que papá va el miércoles al cole. Dentro del colegio conmigo. ¡Ja!
Hijo, 10.000 zapatillas tienes tus amigos.
¡Qué tonto eres, Javier! No tengo 20.000 pies y mis zapatillas. No sé cómo hago, Javier. Estás tonto, Javier. Son magos. No, Ryder. Es que te estás con un tonto malesistón. No. 10.000 euros estás tenido. ¡Sácate del bus y ahora mismo! ¡No se dice la palabrota! ¡Yo digo yo! ¡Dame la agenda! ¡Dame la agenda! Deja que se ponga tu nota. A ver, mi agenda. La agenda, dame la. Baleana tiburón activado. Las aves, Javier. Tienes que hacer esto. Pero ni se te olvida tus auriculares, tío. Basta de hacer eso. No puede ser por eso. ¡Vaya! ¡Párate, Aarón! No es finalidad para esto. Eso es, no voy a repetir eso nunca. ¿Sabes que te has portado mal tú a todos? Es Aarón. ¡Eso es la oportunidad! Es la segunda que me da sangre en mi cara. Pues nada, al final de tomarte por... Shut up tú, es que... Me dabas con la boca. ¡Por favor! Soy el Super Saiyan de todo el mundo. Ya será por tu culpa. Ahora papá es pesado para el miércoles vuelve a cola contigo. Y ahora te digo, ¿qué te ha tenido esto? Y nunca más vas a hacer conmigo la batalla. Empezar 3, 2, 1. Javier está pegando un tortazo en la cabeza de Marcos. ¡Correr! Está como un barbaro. Ven aquí, Javier, que te voy a matar con las manos. Esto es tonto porque ¿qué te pasa? Esto es un porque estoy empezando una batalla. ¡Dios! A ver si te pasas por esto. ¡Ya! ¡Que te salgas de los... ¡Ya! ¡Ya tenemos! ¡Con tus brazos! ¡Ah! ¡Al fuego! Where la puerta para que se enteren de... ¿Qué te pasa, amigos? Que estáis dentro de una vez, pero estabas de empezar con una batalla. Es que parece su estancia. Ahora tendrás que hacerle lo que vas a ir. Tú a todos tendrás un cero. Y tú, Alan, vamos a casa que no tú toda la semana. Has empezado una batalla. Y has convertido en un demonio de fuego. Deja él tranquilo. No. Fanny, te has convertido con un enfado. Cuando estabas haciendo el loca, te voy a poner un cero. ¡Vamos a casa! ¡Tienes mis orejas! Vi. ¿Qué? Has despertado, ¿no? ¿Por qué ha tenido? Ahora te estás afiando, Javier. ¿Por qué ha tenido? Porque se estás afiando, saliendo afuera, despertando a las tantas. Ya estarás vomitando Estados Unidos. Pues claro, es que he vomitado. Es que vamos a ver si estoy malito. Marica, es malito la hija. Donald Duck.
Estás con vómito.
Ya tengo manos y todo. Es por alimentar mis proyectos y mis proyectos malos. Es que de verdad te voy a tirar un pero censurado. ¿Cómo tiene este? Javier, ¿qué? Bueno, es eso. Y que dice que vaya el vídeo ahora mismo y escóndete el proyecto. Ahora tienes canal de YouTube, se ha acabado. Ahora tienes que ver vídeos que sean normales en YouTube Kids. Por favor, nunca más lo vas a ver en YouTube. Es que te viene para tu Javier. Estaba echando para venir su culo. Y ahora tu culo. Y yo me quedo. Y los skitties no sé, no existen. Pero están haciendo más que Pues verdad, Javier, estamos castigados. Es que tienes que ir a la escuela. Mañana te voy a quitar el vídeo. ¿Has hecho el Julio Scratch? Eso es. Mañana Sebastián te va a quitar tu proyecto. Y que he dicho que sigue las normas de la comunidad. Y punto. Es que Javier, tienes que hacer proyectos buenos que no sean culos, ni prohibido alfabeto lore. Mira, te he quitado tu proyecto. Mira, ya está. Así que, Javier, vamos a casa. Que tú estás castigado por hacer el culo en Scratch. Mañana Scratch te va a quitar tu proyecto de culo. Joder, eres pesado. Mañana te voy a detener. Te voy a eliminar tu cuenta. No, papá, no elimines mi cuenta. No, Javier. Tienes una fiesta school. El proyecto es el culo. Es que te voy a enfadar mucho. ¿No? Digo, Javier. Es que vas a ir a los culos determinados. Mira, te trenes unos 23 memes de proyectos. Joder, tío. Es que tenías que hacer caso a Scratch Team. No a los memes, ni los number blocks, ni los alfabetos lore, ni los memes, ni los canales de YouTube memes, que suben memes en YouTube. Solo algún sube vídeos de meme. Todo lo que a ver todo esto día. Javier, vamos a casa ya, que has vomitado. Vale. Hasta las 10:54. ¡Ajá! Voy a comer un sándwich rojo. Pero amigos, no molestéis con las alas como Rainbow Friends verde y como las manos largas y mi pelo de arcoíris largo. Y mi piel largas. Ni. Oh, tío, esto es una palabrota. Ni copia esta nota que me visita no casi y dice Daisy y Mickey Mouse. ¿Vale? No vale que decir tonterías de ni Mickey Mouse, ni Donald Duck, ni Goofy, ni Daisy, ni Pluto, ni Señor Boobs, ni de Sound Lady in the Livy, ni Dalton, ni de esto para siempre. Le odio a esos tontos que dicen palabrotas y de culo que has hecho en Scratch. Sí, esas tonterías son malas para ti. No, como te vuelva a ver. Siéntate para abajo y vomítate, tío. Estás haciendo como un alfabeto. ¡Toca! Mommy. el babitón. Tío, es que es un babitón. Ya se hecho el culo de este. Estás malito de todo. Vamos a casa. Pero estas navidades no es verdad. Quiero irme a la casa de la yaya a dormir. Porque es el día de 45 recetas reconfortantes. Día de tortilla española, recetas, sopas reconfortantes y equipo de comida. Equipo de cocina. Es que todo el rato, papá, yo tengo hambre de los niños y yo no estoy vomitado. Ahora estoy en la casa de primos. Por favor, llévame a la casa de yo. No te voy a morir a la casa de yo, porque estás vomitado, hermanito. Vamos a ir a la casa de las fuerzas. Ahora tengo un pañal y un pivote. Hola. Mismo. Por favor, Javier. Estás haciendo mal. Pero estás haciendo mal, Javier. Verás. Si tienes que ver otra cita que no voy a hacer. ¡Tun, tun! ¿Alguna te has hecho caca de babitón? Tío, es que eres un juguita, como así. Y todo así. Pensaron que estaba molestando a Javier. Y estás a Javier es el que vas a querer. Javier, vamos a casa y no vas a ir a la casa de la yaya. No, ese día... Cállate la boca, Javier.
Y no puedes, cabrón.
¡Pipo!
Te lo voy a contar las ovejas.
The end. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. Papá, Javier, me has quitado tan inglés a mí. Mira, que son las 4:56. Vete a dormir. Hasta las 12:46. Venga, venir los primos. Papá, me estoy pidiendo prima. chicos, estabas aquí. Ya sabes, Aarón. ¿Sabes que Javier está pesado? Sí, está muy pesado. Y a Galán, y a los padres, y a Kikio, y a tú, y después parece que te libras el libro como él. Soy un pipito y que dicen como el cufillo de Mickey Mouse, o Daisy, Donald Duck. Y una especie como un pi en un valore que me gusta, y no hay favore. Ay. ¿Ahora qué, Javier? Te va a venir una mañana un tipo. Vamos a comprar paredes para tú, Javier. ¿Me has ponido un pañal de dibujos? Sí, un pipo de dibujos. Aquí está Javier el bebé. No. ¡Ya no quiero pipo y pañal! No se quiere sin batería. No se quiere sin batería. Estoy muy babosa. Ya te lo digo, Javier, que te vayas a estar muriendo en el manicomio. Es que yo quiero que te mueras. ¿Qué te pasa, Alejandro y Carlos? ¡Ah! ¡Javier, no me tires a la piscina! ¡Ay! No me hacía esto. ¿Quién me puede salir a la casa? ¡Ven aquí! ¡No! Venga a la piscina. Ya, estás castigado, Javier. Mira la piedra que vas a tirar a caer a la piscina y se va a ahogar ya. Pero si no has ganado, yo no tengo nada junto. Vamos a casa. Me los has castigado por un cuatrillones de años. Teléfono sin, es el último día del cole. Mañana es el último día del cole. Pero hoy es el último día del cole. Pañal, no soy un bebé. Y te has salido. El ratón, te voy a dar una torta hasta que te sigas loco. Aaron, si te callas o te meto de la clase de programación y te vas a ir con los bebés de los bebés. Tú el tú y ahora tienes que hacer los deberes de toda la semana. ¡Y tonto! No, Javier, tengo que buscar porque mi ratón ya no va. Tengo que contar uno nuevo. Mira, ahí mi ratón. Aquí está, Aaron. Gracias, María. Pero Javier, no quiero desde Sí, Javier, porque te estamos insultando a tú. Estoy muy babosa. No. Ryder, estás que me oído. Te he dicho que no discutáis. Estás en mi... ¿cómo te... Ahora te calles la boca, tizón, Javier. Hasta las 18:58. Voy a morir la astronauta. Ve. Pues nada, amigos, estabas castigados. Y Aaron, no estabas castigado hasta que Javier te disculpe. Ahora no quiero ser para esto. Ahora vayas a ir a la escuela de verano en 2 meses. Y ahora vayas a ir a la escuela de verano en 2 meses. Es que te voy a dar una tarjeta de estar aquí, como en expilón. Es que estabas castigado para la semana que viene. Ni no vas a ir a la escuela, no. Pues vete a la cama, castigado. Y Javier, estabas castigado. Pues vete a la cama. Y ahora te digo sabes ni programación ni nada. Te lo vas a ver con los pañales de bebé. Y te da vuelo. Y me mirando encima. Porque te tienes que irte a sacar tú de los pañales por el resto de tu vida. Y ahora tenemos todos los pañales y tú sin pañal. Y ahora lo que vas a hacer, ahora no estás sin pañal. Y tú vas a ir con pañales al café. Y que cuando los pañales